Okay, so it's been about a couple years since I've done a tour of my Thunderbolt Sirens here in the garage. And since I have a new camera, I thought I'd go ahead and do one. And just in advance, I do apologize if the camera work isn't too great. I'm still trying to get used to how this camera works because it has an angled lens for ergonomics. So anyways, we will now start with the Thunderbolt 1000. This unit is from 1954. The serial number is T-599, as you can see down there. This unit is from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and is a 1000. It is a single-tone 5-port. So this is just an overview of this. There's the rotator panels and decals down there. And I just showed you the tag on the other side just a second ago. Here's the mouth of the horn. So there's all that. Nothing too much here. I did restore this head in 2022 cosmetically because when I first got this Thunderbolt in 2019, I had no idea how to paint, so it was kind of a mess. But yeah. So now we will go on to the blower here. So the blower right here is a 1953 Thunderbolt 6M. This blower is former Cincinnati, Ohio. It is off of a gel bar Thunderbolt that actually is still in the air at the Cincinnati Greater Waterworks in eastern Cincinnati. The serial number on that one is T-399, exactly 200 off from this unit right here. Kind of cool. The paint that you mainly see on this 6M is all original, except for the black intake cover right there. I did repaint that about several years ago. But beside that, all the paint on this blower is original. It is about, oh gosh, what, 73? Yeah, 73 years old. So, and this thing is in such good condition that these marks right here are from the Thunderbolt factory when they put this pulley on, or like the factory the pulley came from. Really, really cool stuff. There's the relief valve down there. And up there is the Predator 212cc 7-horse engine that powers the 6M, as you know. So I'll give you a little bit more of a better overview. So there is the blower. Now we'll go on to the controls here. So this is the control setup for my Thunderbolt. It consists of 2 indoor style RCM cabinets from the 1950s. We will now start with the disconnect here, however. This is a Square D 240 volt 100 amp disconnect. I got this disconnect off eBay quite some time ago because I did a whole, if you remember, I did a whole refurbishment of these cabinets, as well as a whole resetup and cleaner setup, as well as adding a disconnect to this setup. And before I go further, as you may notice, this is a new addition to the control setup. That is a Federal Signal Renegade LED strobe that I got, and we'll get to that here soon. So here's the inside of the disconnect. Has 3 fuses for the 3 phases, but we're obviously on single phase power. So right here we have the outgoing power that goes to the RCM, and then we have the incoming power up here. So there's that. So now here's the RCM1, which this RCM1 panel here is original to this head right here, T-599, as you can see in there. So here's the overview of the panel. You got the rotator, the blower, and the chopper starters, as well as the time delay agostat there. And that's your chopper transformer. And then up here are the schematics and the wiring diagram, as well as the diagram to show how to connect the chopper to the variable transformer. So there's all of that. So that's the inside of this panel. And then if we come over here to this panel, this is where the FC is located. As you may notice from previous videos, I now have a FCM Plus in here. Wait for it to show up on camera there. Yep, there it is. FCM Plus. I have flashed it with some of the latest firmware to this board. I got this board back in December. If you previously remember, there was a prototype FC in here, which has since been replaced. Nothing happened to it, just wanted to get a little more modern with the setup. Just kind of come a little more into the modern age with siren activation equipment. So obviously right there is the Kenwood TK762G two-way receiver, or transceiver, I'm sorry, to this FC, so it can interface with it. There's the power incoming to everything here. And then, so we'll now get to the strobe here. So this strobe, if I can keep the door open, because sometimes the door doesn't like to stay level. So what happens here is when I press any of these buttons, that strobe activates, and it would also activate the RCM, hence the Thunderbolt. This is basically just some visual alerting for like, hey, the controller is active as well as the siren is active. Just something I wanted to add to the setup. I thought it was pretty cool. If it was nighttime right now, I would turn the lights out and show you a little more how bright this strobe is. That might be a separate video I can do later. So we'll go ahead and cancel that there. And this panel was originally an RCM panel. This goes to the oldest Thunderbolt we know of in existence right now, T73. It was originally from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I was given this panel back in 2020 for free. So that is where this panel is from. Okay, so that does it for the control setup. Obviously, we do have down here, this is kind of with it. Also a separate thing. Obviously, you remember the AR timer. It is a 5-minute variant. But down there, we now have an enclosure for the relay that was out here in the open previously. And then to that is our second Thunderbolt here. This is my second Thunderbolt. The serial number is T-1442-D. Kind of get in focus, there we go. This unit is from late 1959, most likely, and I say most likely in quotes, from Oakland County, Michigan. I acquired this Thunderbolt from West Shore Services in 2024, thanks to a friend of mine by the name Drew on YouTube. Please go check him out. Could not thank him enough for helping me get this head, as well as the horn. The horn is ex-Cincinnati, Ohio. It came from Clayton Warden's yard. And the screen back there, I acquired from West Shore Services this past March in 2026. And it most likely could have gone to this head. We're not entirely sure. It is arrow matching, but we are not sure. And then the chopper that's in there right now is a 5.6 chopper that is ex-Grand Rapids, Michigan, which went to a completely different head, T-2767-D. And the original chopper is right there, the 4.5. So, this head is indeed in the process of being cosmetically restored. It just isn't having much progress right now. And as you might notice, the cart is no longer attached to it, as I rendered the cart useless for this thing. So, it is just going to sit next to where the head is and go from there. Alright, well, that is the tour of all my Thunderbolt sirens. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any comments or questions, you can leave them in the comments and I hope to answer them.